You have got to hear what Bayley just said about her WWE career. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what she had to say, why it's so significant, and why my mind, it actually exploded when I heard it because, well, you'll know. Because Bayley, she's had an interesting 2024. Her ups and her downs have been well documented, something which I've talked about here on the channel because Bayley has always been one of those underdog type characters where fans just want to see her succeed, regardless of whether she's a babyface or a heel. She's on the top of the card, or they're just simply not doing anything with her. She will always have a connection with some of the biggest stars to ever come through WWE. And of course, I'm talking about the four horsewomen of WWE, your Charlotte Flairs, your Becky Lynch's, and your Mercedes Monets. And while Bayley may be fourth on that list, she's on that list. She's in that group. A group of women that helped change the course of WWE. In 2024, it was a course that changed Bayley's life. It changed her WWE career from winning the Women's Royal Rumble match, winning the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania 40, dethroning Io Sky in the process, and officially breaking up the Damage Control faction, a faction in which she created, a faction in which she pushed for years and years and years, yet Vince McMahon opted not to go with it. She brought back Io Sky and Dakota Kai to form this group. She resurrected Asuka's career. She brought back Kairi Sane, and then that led to a babyface championship run this year. Now, ultimately, it ended at the hands of Nia Jax at SummerSlam, who had won the Queen of the Ring tournament, earning a shot at the Women's Championship. Since then, Bayley and Nia Jax, they've continued their feud involving Tiffany Stratton, who has continuously teased cashing in Money in the Bank and also getting involved in Bayley versus Nia Jax. We'll get into that in a minute. Now, let's talk about today's video, because for years and years and years, I've had this belief, and for the last 2 years here on the channel, I've shared that belief, that Bayley, her breakout year in WWE, it wasn't in NXT, it wasn't when she first made it to the main roster, it was in 2019 into 2020, and later 2021. Her heel turn, where she came out on SmackDown and cut down all the blow-up items, right, her bubblies, right? That was the moment when she turned heel and she went from this teenage-esque character. That was the moment that her career changed forever. Well, finally, Bayley has agreed with me, because she spoke with 8newsnow.com and commented on why she thinks her heel turn in 2019 was necessary. And this is what she had to say. Sometimes I think about it where I would be with the fans, because when I became a bad guy, I felt like I lost a genuine connection with fans, where it was like, oh, they don't know how to feel about me, or whether they still want to like me, or what it was. It was a genuine disconnection. So sometimes I still think about it. Man, I wonder if I never would have done that, where I would be now. If I would be better, or I'd be better off, or worse. Then I think about the times during the pandemic, and I don't know if that character would have been able to last through the pandemic and have the type of success that I did. So I always credit them for allowing me to have that moment and allowing me to explore my growth, because I don't feel that was what I was doing at the time was going to extend my career any longer. So I knew I needed to turn that page and just make something different happen. As a fan, I want to everything. Meaning I want to do everything. I want to be a bad guy. I want to be a good guy. I want to have a crazy storylines. So that was the first taste of doing something different for myself. I catered to a lot of the fans coming in, but it wasn't something I felt I needed for my career. So I don't regret it at all. Lots to break down here. The fact that she had concern that she would lose the connection with the fan base, that's real. And that's one of the reasons why WWE fans connect with Bayley so much. She's very relatable. While, yes, she is a superstar, she can also come across as just one of the girls, or just a regular person, someone who you would just meet on the street and just chat it up. A very likable, yet relatable superstar. that's one of the reasons why she got over as a babyface in NXT with her teenage-esque character, right? That lovable underdog, no matter what she had to face, she faced it head-on with the right intentions, with the right mindset, and feeling like she could overcome anything regardless of the odds stacked against her. That's someone that you want to see succeed, and sometimes she did, and sometimes she didn't. She also is 1,000% right in that her heel turn in 2019 absolutely changed her. It changed her career, and it did so for the better. It was allowed her to explore her growth as a person and as a character. And with that, I also question where she would, because if she wasn't able to be more of a serious character, I think she would just kind of plateaued. I'm not saying that she necessarily would have got released or anything, but I don't think that it would have been the exact same in terms of the success, right? She went on to have a long women's championship reign. She went on to have a women's tag team title reign with Mercedes Moné. She was paired with Moné on television. There was a lot of good segments in that. There was also a lot of situations in which she helped carry Friday Night SmackDown in terms of being a heel and what she was able to do as a heel on television. There's a lot of good segments that she was a part of during what most people would say is the worst era in pro wrestling. I mean, how could you get any worse? I know that WWE in the early 90s, mid-90s was really bad, but it doesn't have anything to compare to that time where there was no fans in attendance, and it was just god-awful booking heading into the pandemic. And then in the pandemic, it was just really, really bad booking by WWE and Vince McMahon. And obviously when Triple H came in, he changed the game. Well, Bayley, she was one of the bright spots. If you go back and you look at the pandemic and you look at that era, what would you say are the high points? I would say the emergence of the Hurt Syndicate now, or AKA the Hurt Business. And I would say Bayley and Moné carrying SmackDown. I mean, and then obviously later on the Bloodline storyline. But those are the three highlights to come out of the pandemic era. There's not a lot in that era that people will go back and watch or they will think highly of. It was a bad period, but Bayley made it work, and she made it work by shifting her character and shifting her mindset and shifting her gimmick, and I think it paid off in a huge way for her. And it created moments and memories for fans alike that have followed her career and have wanted to see her succeed for so long and is always pushing for more to do with Bayley. So let me know down in the comments there below, what do you think about Bayley's comments? Hit that like button, subscribe button. Catch y'all.